Hi, everybody. This is Jimmy Doolin with another sit down. Today with a dear friend and colleague, Tom Colvin. Hello,
Hey, how
Tom.
are you, Jimmy?
I'm well. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
No problem. I enjoy these things.
Yeah, well, I've known you for a long time, and I know you're not bashful, so I know that you're perfectly capable with the lights on, if you will.
That's right.
So, when did you get your license? What year was it?
Maybe 1999,
Okay.
maybe.
So we were first, right out of the gate,
Oh yeah,
because we were you were July of '99 with us.
yeah,
So right out of the gate, former school teacher.
yeah. I
Has to
enjoyed teaching. I really enjoyed teaching.
there's there's lots of documentation that says that teachers become incredibly successful realtors. What is it about you teachers?
Well, I say it almost on a daily or weekly basis to my clients. I love teaching you about the buying process. There's a lot of clients that I have that are first time buyers. And I'll tell them, I say, I'm not your dad, but I was a former teacher and I prefer to have an informed client. And so I want to go through step by step to explain the buying and selling process. And it's really like teaching. And so I've always enjoyed teaching. And I just think this is an extension of that.
Gotcha. Well, and when I say successful, do you realize since 2008, basically since the last time the world went a little crazy, you have racked up over $50 million in sales since 2008.
I was not aware of that.
That's a pretty impressive number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
And not only that, but you're a guy who's across the board. I mean, you're helping people at all price points.
I do.
You always have.
I always have. Yep.
And is there a geographical? Is it a geographical area? Is it a type of person? Is it a farm? Is it a referral? What is the nature of your business?
Really, there is no geographical area. I am literally went up to Walton, Indiana yesterday. If you know where that's at, that's way up northwest of Kokomo and Lewis Cass area high school. And I'll go down. I've got one that I'm going to list down in Spencer, Indiana, way down on the south side. No, I just enjoy working with people, and so I really work. It wouldn't matter if it was a $10,000 house or a $10 million house. I have done them all, and I don't know if one of your stats you've got there is how many transactions I've done, like 1,500 transactions.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
it's close.
you got me on that one. I didn't know that one, but I knew it would be high because you've got, I mean, the number of families you've helped with investments and foreclosures and back in '08, '09, '10,
Yeah.
when those prices were low, the units was just incredible, the amount of people you helped.
Yeah, it was definitely bringing your office average down.
In terms of sales, but in terms of the number of transactions, you helped out quite a bit.
Right, right.
So, well, and I know you on a personal level and know you to be a big family guy. So tell me about your family. What's the makeup? How many kids? What's everybody doing? What's life like?
Well, my beautiful wife Ashley got her license this year, as you know. She's Remax agent, and we are a team and a new indie home team, and we have been very busy this year. It's been a very successful start for her career. I'm really excited for her. She has done tremendous. Not that she's new to the business. She's been helping me as a transaction coordinator for over like 5 years. So
Sure.
she's very versed in all phases of the real estate. So it made sense for her to get her license. Um, Her daughter, my stepdaughter, is a Ball State student and just got home for a break. They got like a 2 month break, which is crazy. Her son Coleman is in the restaurant business, working right presently for City Barbecue. My three sons, Drew, Dustin, and Dane. Drew is a general contractor in the Carmel area. He does tend to do high-end kitchens and baths and other additions and stuff like that. He's very busy as well. Dustin is a meteorology major out of Ball State. Him and I had gone storm chasing for 10 years, and he presently is in Colorado working for a automotive sales position of some sort. And Dane, my youngest son, is a Purdue graduate in civil engineering. He's presently a civil engineer in a company up north in South Bend, Indiana.
Wow. So not only proud papa, but proud stepfather as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exciting. Well, like I said, I know family is has always been real important to you. I've certainly I remember some of your storm chasing days, and I remember Sheridan football and lots
Yeah,
of things that involved kids.
right.
So, what do you see, and what do you think 2021 looks like? What do you think the upcoming real estate year is going to be like for all of us?
Well, I do believe it's going to be a very strong year. We had so many pessimistic attitudes towards what was coming, and I've disagreed all along. I felt like the market was strong. It's going to continue to be strong. I think it's going to maybe equalize a little bit. This past 6 months, it's been a tremendous seller's market, and I think it'll equalize a little bit and a little more equilibrium between buyers and sellers. Although we still just have a shortage of inventory, so it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be a very strong year, whether you're buying or selling a house. I think it's going to be a good year for you. The values of homes are going to continue to rise as the material costs continue to rise. The value of the home is going to continue to appreciate. It's a great time to be buying into a house rather than renting, because those rent rates are still going up as well.
Yeah, they are, and especially Indiana. We continue to be one of the states with some of the highest year-over-year increases in rent rates.
Partly because we were so low.
Well, that's
Uh,
true too.
uh,
Certainly, certainly.
so
So, one of the things that when I think of each person and through this process, I try to, like, in my head, what's different about different people and how they handle their business. And the thing that I came up with you is you're very, very studious. And I don't know if that's the teacher side of you coming out, but you really are, you're after the whole story. You want the data, you want to know, which I know is really valuable for an investor client. But even if it's an individual buying their first home or their 10th home, you're a guy who's going to dig in and do a lot of homework before pen hits paper.
well, there's no doubt. I analyze to the umpteenth degree, not only for my own personal investments, but every one of my clients, whether they're buying an investment property or whether they're buying their first time home to live in. I want them to know what I know. And so I glean all the information. If as I'm buying it myself, if I was going to buy a house, or if you were going to buy a house, every information that we would try to obtain. I do that with every client that I have for every purchase or sell of their home. I want them to know the information so they can make a better decision. And so, yeah, I glean through everything that I can and share that with my clients.
I don't think that I don't think that the amount of research and study that you put into it is should just be assumed that everyone does it. I think you do it at a different level. I just know that sometimes the conversations that you and I have that are around real estate or around transactions, et cetera, I just know that we're talking about stuff that other people aren't considering often. So I think it's a real asset that differentiates you. I mean, I think if somebody's looking at this and they contemplating a buy or a sell and they're looking for an agent, I just think you get research across, your tagline, if you will, that you're a guy who's going to inform them.
I am definitely a student of the industry and a student of the business. I really do. Um, I keep saying this, but I want an informed client. An informed client is the best client you can have. So they don't have the tools that we have. And so I have to search it to the umpteenth degree, and then I share that with them, and it just makes the whole process better for everybody, so that they understand what they're buying. It's a big purchase and it's a big sell. So I really think information smooths the way for the clients. So
And what you just said there, an informed client, I think that's exactly key. Making sure that people know what they're getting into. I recently was dealing with a scenario and where we had a customer within the organization, and she had some concerns over her transaction. And in the end, man, it boiled down to just information that and she wasn't our client. She was another firm's client on the opposite side of a real estate transaction. And as through our conversation, what I came to understand is her realtor just was not setting reasonable expectations and keeping her client informed. And I think that it leads to a smoother transaction, don't you?
oh, absolutely. In all phases, it's a lengthy process. I mean, you and I, we're accustomed to it. The agents in our office are accustomed to the process. And so many times clients are unfamiliar with not just the process, the forms. How many forms do we go through in a given transaction? And so informing them of what's going to come makes their anticipation more realistic, so that they don't have that anxiety of all of a sudden, oh, you've got this form or you've got this inspection response that we've got to do. I want them to understand what's coming before it comes, and then couple that with the information on market analysis and taxes and so forth and so on. All that information, it overwhelms them at times, but I continue to feed the information to my clients over the process so that they are more and more comfortable with the information. So I
So
do
you,
think it makes it a much smoother transaction.
so I know from my experience that you have sold a lot of land, you have sold a lot of investment properties, you have sold a lot of HUD and VA and foreclosures and things like that. Um, uh, is there a piece of this business that you've not experienced or are unfamiliar with?
Mm.
You've flipped houses, you've remodeled houses. Heck, you just finished the cutest little farmhouse that's only 15 minutes away from here just recently.
I've done. You got to be careful in this business not to venture outside of your expertise. I have just been fortunate that I have been involved in almost every facet of the industry. So whether you're buying or selling a $2 million home, or you really want to buy a multifamily product, or even a commercial product, um, whether you're renting it, leasing it, buying it, I've done almost all of it. And I'm not trying to be boastful in any way. It's just I've been fortunate and rubbed shoulders with great agents and that have mentored me as well. And so I was able to understand all levels of this industry. So I find myself fortunate in that regard.
Well, yeah, yeah, certainly, I would agree. Have you ever stopped to calculate how many acres of land you've sold over your career?
I really haven't.
I haven't either, but it'd be an interesting number.
Oh yeah, I would think it'd be thousands of acres, I would guess.
Yeah,
So
I agree. Well, it's with a great deal of appreciation and respect that I thank you for being here today. I was certainly looking forward to today's opportunity to sit down with you. You're a good friend and a great steward of the industry, so it's certainly a highlight for me to have this opportunity.
well, I appreciate you and Remaxability Plus. It's been a second home for me over 2 decades.
Great
And
relationship.
you were a young boy when I first came to this.
Not so young anymore, sir.
I know we're both getting older, but no, I appreciate it, Jimmy, and thanks for the invite to this meeting.
You got it. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.